Being an alpha means being a protector. That's exactly what it means. You can't be an alpha when you're following someone else. I mean, that's what the word means. Alpha, the supreme one. So it's just, I think it's funny that there's so many alphas out there, or at least a bunch of guys who are claiming to be alpha, yet they're following some moron right into oblivion. Very puzzling, very puzzling. You can't be an alpha when you're easily corrupted. You can't be an alpha when you're easily swayed to do the stupidest things. You can't be an alpha when you're foaming at the mouth. That seems more like a hyena. Hyenas that like to stay in a big group because they can't stand on their own. Hyenas who attack in group because they can't stand on their own 2 feet. They don't find themselves strong enough. Hyenas who decide to join groups of hateful people to feel safe, to feel strong. That's not being an alpha. That's being a sissy. You're running away from the scary people. Please, please, please keep me safe. Being an alpha is being a protector. Being an alpha doesn't mean you go out looking for trouble. Remember what Mufasa said. Come on now. If you want to be treated kingly, like royalty, you must behave like royalty. That's all there is to it. You don't act like a pig rolling in its own feces while smiling and thinking they're winning, and that's silly. That's not being an alpha. Foaming at the mouth again only reminds me of a hyena. Those who cannot fight, one-on-one. Those who are not brave enough to say who they are and stand on their own 2 feet as individuals, as independent beings. Like the people in the LGBTQ community. That's right. Because these people are the bravest people in the world. Because in a world full of prancers and dancers, wannabes and pretenders, they're the only people who are honest with themselves. The only people who decide, I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet, on my own, because everybody has turned away from me because I came out. I have to be strong for myself. I have to be honest. And that takes balls. Something that little dweebs like those fake alphas could never do. See, that's why it's puzzling to me to have so many alphas when there's basically there just has to be one. This is why our Father in heaven is called the Alpha and the Omega. And when you go around abusing his children, well, that's not a good thing. You forget that the Alpha above us is watching everything. And you going around trying to abuse his children is only going to bring you into deeper trouble. Nobody's scared of you because where you're coming from is weakness. Where all of us are coming from is from honesty and courage and a decisive attitude that if this is going to get me killed, then bring it. But I'd rather that than not be myself. You see where the honesty boils down to? That's an alpha thing. Oh, and by the way, an alpha, again, is a protector. So if you happen to see a male teacher who has a feminine side, you got yourself there an alpha, because that person has the strength of a man, but also the nurturing attitude of femininity. This person is more complete than those who just side to one side. I mean, 2 is better than 1, right? In this universe, that's still valid. 2 forces instead of 1. 2 sides of the brain, both hemispheres playing together, working together, instead of just 1. See, this is why it's puzzling that some of these so-called alphas decide to think that they're righteous, that they're in the right, they have the right perspective, when they're only leaning to one side. Oh, it's so feeble, these attempts to fake your way through life, because you have to be honest with yourself. See, I can put on be cocky and put on a show and just do all kinds of fancy movements, but to honestly be yourself and to express yourself honestly, that, my friend, is very hard to do.